6 kids.
Yeah, but she had to leave 2 behind. I think if they cross state lines, it's a parole violation.
Sophia, you mean you're moving for good?
Not for good. I'm just gonna help them raise the kids. I'll be back as soon as they graduate from high school. Let's see, they're 14 now. That should be about 10, 12 years.
Still can't understand why he hasn't even approached the subject of, you know, sex. I mean, not that I'm in a hurry or anything, but we have been dating a while now.
Oh, honey, sometimes you have to stoke a man's fire a little bit.
Words of butts.
Yes. Anyway, we had a terrible fight about her quitting school. She told me to stay out of her life, and she ran off to Paris to become a model. She swore she would never speak to me again, and she hasn't either till today.
Well, that sounds like it's all in the past now.
Oh, I hope so. I have... Isn't it funny? Sometimes you have to almost lose somebody before you realize how much they really mean to you. Let's go out and celebrate life. Let's go out and do something crazy.
Let's fly to Freeport and gamble all night.
Ma, we can't afford it. He is sleeping in the day because he has 4 women who won't let him sleep at night. Now, who went in there last night? Was it you?
Well, I went in once.
Why?
I'd been working. I hadn't seen him all day.
And was he sleeping?
At first?
This has got to stop. No wonder that baby didn't sleep.
Oh, I know what you're talking about, Sophia. There are men's voices that get me going like that, too.
Blanche, there are men's socks that can get you going.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
And do we all remember what today is?
I'll go out on a limb and say Thursday, but you can't go...
Oh, Sophia, look here. Here's a postcard from Big Daddy and Margaret. They say they're having the time of their life honeymooning in the Bahamas.
Please, the big news is he lived through the wedding night.
There's an island, and I know you feel like a
Well,
family.
I am family. I'm her long-lost Swedish mother.
You're her Swedish mother.
Yeah. You bet you sure. Oh, come on, let me in.
I'm afraid not.
Here, let me try, Sophia. No.
What a surprise! I am absolutely speechless.
I couldn't. I think they're going to finish it.
Your own, Miles. Order your own.
Good evening. Have the 2 of you decided yet?
Yes, the lady will be having the 1850.
The truck.
Inhaling this vapor rub. Dorothy, I have been waiting for Larry to ask me out ever since our eyes first met at Dell's Route 1 Chevron. And I climbed up on the hood of his LeBaron and wrote my phone number on his windshield with the heel.
Could I see that? Next time I'll ask you to hand me the candlestick. Look, Ma, it's not so terrible if I go to the wedding alone. Hi, Rose.
It's not fair. Let's just do it.
Okay, we're almost there. Here we go.
No, wait a minute. Blanche, come on, this is ridiculous.
Hi, Dorothy.
Oh, Blanche, I am so glad you came back. Listen, I have to talk to you.
Well, honey, I have to talk to you, too, and it's about the money.
That's exactly what I wanted to...
Grasp the valve tightly with your hand.
Okay.
turn it clockwise until...
Ma, you're still mad at me, aren't you?
Dorothy, you let greed cloud your judgment. Money blinded you. You turned your back on the people you love. You did a terrible, terrible thing. It's unforgivable.
Ma, isn't there anything I can do?
Bless you, Warden.
I wouldn't mind sleeping here on the sofa.
That lumpy thing? No, you're sleeping in my room.
Thanks.
I think I'll retire too. This is the night I do my facial packs and compresses. It takes me an hour, but that's why my skin is as smooth as a baby's bottom. And I almost got my balance. And I only dropped my baton 4 times. And when I was finished, I was unanimously voted captain of the cheerleading squad.
Blanche, how was that possible?
Underneath my regulation uniform, I was wearing little black French lace panties. Bearing the...
Take you home.
I've always found that to be true.
Right now, I feel like the little kid at the orphanage.
Okay, Rose. I'm going to tell you a little story about a young girl in high school. All of them with Napoleon complexes, something to prove.
And jobs, Blanche. They all had jobs.
In a diamond mine.
All I'm trying to say is we had fairy tales in St. Olaf that weren't violent, and they had positive role models. Like Gus in the recliner.
At least 6 times.
The last episode was the highest rated ever. Ever.
That must be a good feeling.
Well, it's kind of an acknowledgement.
I hate to interrupt you, but I have some bad news. It's all over. That's right, you're busted, Bob. Oh, Blanche, how do you feel about performing in front of a video camera?
I think it's all right as long as you've already had at least 3 dates.
It's for my video class. My final project is a day in the...
1,000 words.
No.
All right, I'll get you a picture. Now move. Hey, that sign says no soliciting. Come back here and I'll blow your head off. Capiche?
I'll get it.
Pussycat, I have another hypothetical.
But you always took him when you couldn't get a date.
I don't have a date either, Rose. We can hang out together at the sweet table and guess people's weight.
Oh, I have a date, Sophia. It's just not Cousin Arnold.
Good, I never liked your cousin Arnold.
Do you have a date? Anyone we know?
Isaac?
Excuse me?
Isaac.
Well, my plan with the truck drivers didn't work, thanks to little Miss Straight-Laced here. So I have been in every front yard in a 6-block radius getting these penny savers from the paper boys.
She was a woman possessed, Dorothy. Caught some on the fly, scaled a couple of roofs, and she had a brilliant idea how to avoid guard dogs.
You made her... You really say some wise things.
We're also the only species who use corn holders that look like corn on the cob when we eat corn on the cob.
Whoops, spoke too soon.
The phone booth. It's my turn. Oh, 6. What luck! I own Lock and Britton Avenue. Game's over. I win. You win.
Rose, how...
Gone.
We're going to jail.
What did you call me?
Before he answers that, let me reiterate, we are bitterly divorced.
Relax, Dorothy.
Doris.
Okay.
I want you to know I'm crazy about you.
Ever since I was a little girl, when I first heard my parents whispering about the St. Olaf slasher.
Slasher?
Yes. Oh, he terrorized St. Olaf for months.
In the dark of night, he'd sneak into an unsuspecting farmer's field and mercilessly slash his scarecrow to shreds.
She makes me crazy. She's always putting down my way of life, my choice of career. She's never been there for me when I've needed her, never. And all she ever talks about is how much money she has.
Dorothy, there's upsetting news. She's broke. She invested all her money in junk bonds, and now she's broke.
She has no money?
Okay. I can carry a book. It's a free country. Even the Statue of Liberty carries a book.
You were driving again.
Who says?
This phone book is still warm. You were sitting on it so you could see over the steering wheel.
You know me, safety first.
You stole my car?
Only...
You know, we ought to go to that all-night market more often.
Oh, why, Rose? They're so much more expensive.
Oh, maybe so, but where else can you get beef jerky and family circle this time of night?
Where else? Shh! Please, keep it down. The baby's asleep.
Isn't this amazing? When the diapers get dirty, does this mean you'll go to the masquerade ball?
Yes, and I'll tell you something. After all the practice I have had lately, I'd be honored to be the horses behind.
If I like him, I give him the wrong directions. Have any visitors today?
Mom and Dad were by this morning. They brought comic books.
I never let my boy Phil read comic books. Of course, when he was 16, we shared an underwear drawer.
Did you bring me anything today?
We're canceled.
So what are you up to tonight, Holly?
Oh, nothing, just a quiet evening at home.
Nice.
I'm working off all my excess sexual energy.
Why don't we just hook you up to the toaster and make Pop-Tarts?
Don't make fun, Dorothy. This is the 5th Friday night in a row I haven't had a date.
Honey, you're just in a little slump.
Is that what this is? I've never been in one before.
Why, oh, why can't grief take a holiday?
Oh, it does, Rose, it does. Eventually it comes to Miami like everyone else.
Oh, my God. I don't believe it.
Barry Glick is in town. Oh, I haven't seen him since high school. Riverboat floating down the Mississippi Delta. Finish the damn story, Blanche.
Anyway, it was at a Southern seafood fry that I proudly dragged Kathy Lee over to meet my folks. Well, my mama took one look at Kathy Lee and forbade me ever to see her again.
Why?
And just yesterday, her biggest concern was whether Bubbles, the chimp, was traveling with Michael Jackson against his will. Okay, honey, tell us what's wrong.
What does this picture look like to you?
Me sitting on a throne dressed as Cleopatra.
Appointment. She wanted to look her best for Charmaine's big day.
Boy, Blanche is handling this a lot better than I would. I would kill Gloria if she ever wrote about my sexual escapades.
You'd kill your sister over a pamphlet? Pussycat, when's the last time I told you you were beautiful?
June 1st, 1949. At my wedding.
Oh, well, that's because pregnant women have that special glow. I think it's time to tell you she didn't say it. I read between the lines.
Rose, I wouldn't be one bit surprised if you won that award.
You know, I think you're right, Blanche.
Why, sure. Well, you took part in the walkathon and the bikeathon and the telethon. At the bearathon. But who keeps track? Oh, Blanche, I think you have a better chance of winning that award than I.
I'm sorry. I'm just so worried about Dorothy. I keep remembering how bad it was the last time she let this gambling thing take over her life. There was nothing I could do. That's when she hit bottom.
What happened?
Because of her gambling debts, she had to borrow money from loan...
The business. I don't know what I'm going to do. 22 years of sweat and blood, and suddenly it's all flushed down the toilet like a snotty ball of Kleenex.
You could always write poetry for a living. I'm sorry. I know how devastated you must be. I have one question.
No one can replace Mr. Terrific. You can just say goodbye to Mr. Policeman.
It's Thursday. I thought he was supposed to be Mr. Mailman.
All right, what do we do now?
Listen. Your star is just a phone call away. Give me the word, and Mr. Terrific will be back on the air.
Well, wait a minute. I think I've got a...
Rose, some of his paintings are worth thousands of dollars. Oh, here. This is a dekimmel on this brochure for the exhibit.
I don't get it.
This kind of art does nothing for me.
But you have to open your mind to new perceptions. This is non-representational art. I work in...
What do you say?
No.
Okay, make it 100, but no monthly report.
Goodbye, Stanley.
Well, why don't I just wait outside, give you a few minutes to think this over?
Fine. He's still here in the morning. Let's give him coffee, okay?
It's a nightmare. We've been visited by the yachts of Christmas past.
Come to a major decision.
Oh?
And it's a decision that affects both of us.
Oh.
Sit down. Close your eyes, and I'll give you a hint.
Okie dokie.
Well, Frank Nan, I haven't seen you since that weekend in Pensacola.
Goosey Lucy.
That's right. We did have fun, Squeezy Wheezy.
No, I mean, you'd be perfect for the part of Goosey Lucy.
Lumped me as her partner, and then the two of you sign up together.
I did it. Dorothy's a better bowler than you are, and I want to win this year.
Rose, how could you do a thing like this?
I admit it. I have a problem. I'm too competitive when it comes to athletics.
After last night, he doesn't exist. Oh, excuse me, I didn't see you.
Morning, Rose. I guess you're still mad at me, too, huh? That's right. Oh, girls, look, believe me, nobody could be more upset about what happened last night than I am, but...
Went to a bar up the street, and while I was there, it dawned on me. If we use Mitchelson, we're going to look like the rich slumlords we're not.
Well, then who are we using?
Well, as luck would have it, I met somebody at the bar who doesn't have that much experience, but I was very impressed.
Boy, Stan, it's jumping.
Baby. Poor baby. This morning he was so full of life, and now he looks just terrible.
Rose, honey, don't torture yourself. Now, baby is very, very old. Whenever one of...
Listen, Ted, I hate to interrupt. What was all that sweet talk about your having a crush on me?
Well, I did, but that was a long time ago.
Yeah, but what about last night?
Is Stalag 17? I went for a walk. I couldn't sleep. I had a nightmare.
Tell me about it, Sophia. Sometimes I can interpret dreams.
Blanche sold the house, and I wound up back at Shady Pines.
This is a tough one.
Dorothy, please don't send me back.
I am not sending you back to Shady Pines.
I'll get my purse.
I'm Frank. I'm here to see Dorothy.
You're the hunk? I mean, forgive me, Father. That is, forgive my language. Not in your official capacity.
I just cannot believe how much you think about men.
Well, hey, men are an important part of my life. Not just my life, they're an important part of all our lives. Seems like hardly a day goes by here. There's not an incident about some man that we're dating or used to date.
I'm Vaxie, hotel security. Nobody touch anything.
Oh.
You say no one was in the room but her and the victim?
That's right, sir.
He's dead, all right. Steak knife right through the heart.
That must be what killed him.
St. Olaf?
And let's just lie down on the bed and watch television.
Hi.
Did you do it?
Yeah. And? I'm going to become a nun. On the kiss of death. It's the second time a man has died in my bed.
The second time?
Dorothy knows.
Charlie.
You are not mad?
Are you kidding? Our friendship was built on years of this.
Trudy, you have made this one hell of a reunion.
Speaking of which, there's a party out there. Come on.
Well, Dorothy Zbornak, I cannot believe you put Rose and me through this.
Yeah.
Go with me off this plane. What was that?
Oh, that was them shutting the door.
They shut the door?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Candy. I'll be your flight hostess. Please review the information cards in your...
The city requires a permit on any new home construction built within 5 feet of a standing structure used as a primary dwelling.
Rose, all this technical information, it doesn't sound like you.
And if Blanche doesn't get that permit, I think they could make her live in a shoe.
To fake mothers. And the same thing is happening with Stan. I mean, he's weaning himself from his relationship with me by using a fake monkey for companionship.
Why not use a fake woman?
Oh, well, honey, that's why Stan went to the psychiatrist in the first place.
I'm so sorry for the intrusion. Frida Claxton, wasn't she the woman who owned that old house on Richmond Street?
Yes.
What goes on? In my village in Sicily, we had a custom. If your mother-in-law died, you were forced to wear a hair shirt, eat dirt, and pound your head on a rock. Anything to keep you from laughing.
Way is not the answer. Whoa! Oh, I'm sorry, Mario. I never realized that ripping off a nose would leave that big a hole. Anyway, I read a story once that said that in America...
Unfortunately, when he got to Duluth, he took a left instead of a right, and he wound up back in St. Olaf. That's how he got his nickname, Wrong Way Geflückenflanken.
Rose, how is this a story about faith?
Well, when he got back, it was the dead of winter. Tired and...
Rose Blanche is that little floozy.
You mean he...
She's at the 50, the 40, the 30.
Blanche, it's you!
Oh, you're getting so good at that, Rose. Now, who's that over there?
Annie Dorothy. Lighten up.
Honey.
Morning, Annie Blanche.
Oh, the pup's still here.
Yeah, one more day, unless Ma decides to take him bar hopping.
How come you're dressed so early?
Oh, I told Mr. Allen that I'd come in.
Alvin, am I sitting in the right place?
Depends. If you're looking to catch a bus to Jacksonville, you could be in big trouble.
You old geezer, you know what I'm talking about.
Half the time, I suspect you don't know what you're talking about. Especially when you start all that muttering in Italian. I swear you make up half those words.
You know what I do when I need a shot of self-esteem?
Yeah, you put on that dopey "it's okay to be me" sweatshirt. Go lock yourself in the bathroom and then like a moron kiss yourself silly in the mirror.
And I guess I'll be back in there again tonight.
Oh, Sophia, do you know of anybody?
Ugly women. What are we gonna do?
Nothing. They sound great. If we pretend that nothing is wrong, maybe no one will notice.
Hey, did you get a load of those queens on the bandstand?
Keep your voice down.
What for? You think they don't know they're queens?
Girls, I think we're a success.
Congratulations.
Just as soon as the doctor gets
but
here.
Kirsten lives an hour away from here. We don't want Rose to be alone now.
I'm sorry, those are the rules. But don't worry, your friend is in stable condition.
So why can't we see her?
I said family only.
Look, you have never met this woman's family. They live in a place called St. Olaf.
Really? what'd you talk about?
Oh, art, literature, world events, life. I haven't had that stimulating a conversation in years.
Now, Dorothy, if you're saying you can't get stimulating conversation around this house, I beg to differ.
I can't believe it. It says here that since Michael Jackson can't buy the Elephant Man, he's now put in a bid for the remains of the Big Boss.
Stanley, stop it. I am not going out with you. I would rather be bound and gagged and left on an anthill covered with honey.
400.
410.
Sold.
Dorothy, I say that.
500.
So, hi, pussycat.
Say goodbye, old woman.
Have a good time?
Do I sound like I had a good time?
How the hell should I know? You're always like this.
Your matchmaker set me up with a criminal.
White collar.
Ma, will you stop?
I thought you were going to make him suffer.
Oh, and I will. Tomorrow morning, I'll tell him he's the worst lover I ever had.
Prima di incominciare,
Before we begin,
bisogna chiarire un punto.
let's make one thing clear.
Io e solo io sono in controllo.
I am in charge.
Io sono il padrone,
I am the boss.
io sono il maestro,
I am the master.
io sono la balena.
I am the walrus.
Can I fix you some breakfast, honey?
No, thanks. Oh, I just feel terrible. If I'm gonna spend the night tossing and turning, at least I want to wake up smelling like aftershave. That and go when Grammy died. The family had to sell Grandview, and it got turned into an old bed and breakfast, but at least I could visit.
And have breakfast.
Thank you, Sophia.
Pancakes by the looks of it.
Thank you, Sophia.
Honey, you know, we'd go with you if it would help, but
Birthday!
Oh, thanks so much, sweetheart.
an even happier birthday from
You're hurting me, Dorothy.
me. Sorry. Honey, before you do anything else, I want you to open my gift. I think you're gonna like it.
Oh, isn't that pretty?
Dorothy, maybe we should all get some rest and try to figure a way out for Sophia tomorrow.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Dorothy, can we look in on Sophia, too?
She is like a mother to us.
I think she'd like that. Here's the key.
I've been thinking about what we should do in case they...
Right now, it would be the nicest sound in the world.
Ma, you know, you don't look good.
I'm short and I'm old. What did you expect? Princess Di?
I think we should call the doctor.
I don't need a doctor.
Listen, Blanche, would you call, please? The number's by my bed. Dr. Harris.
I hate doctors.
The only doctor I ever...
Thank you so much. Oh, everybody get in here. Come and see what I just got.
What is it, Blanche?
My commemorative plate from the Citrus Festival just arrived.
Here's the old tree house. Oh, gee, when I was a kid, my best friend Ingrid and I used to go up there all the time. Oh, gosh, I miss her. I haven't talked to her in ages.
Well, why don't you give her a call?
Well, maybe I will.
Sure.
In the hospital, naked under a sheet with strange men, inspecting my body with cold metal instruments.
Which reminds me, has that Tyler returned my call?
Come on, Blanche, we need to rehearse some more. Will you help us, Dorothy?
Oh, all right.
Maybe we can find an old rug to sharpen our claws on.
Yeah, how about the one on Stanley's head?
Possible. I feel like a...
A backstabbing slut?
No.
Then please go for me. I'll feel better knowing this thing is finally...
30 years.
What makes you such a medical expert? The doctor prescribed those pills, and I only take them when I need them.
Have you ever considered the possibility that you might be dependent on them?
Are you calling me an addict? Well, I really resent that.
You think I can't do without those?
I can't take it back. It's against store policy.
Are you willing to sign an affidavit to that effect?
What?
An affidavit. It's standard in any NOPRL investigation.
NOPRL.
The NOPRL, Network of Older People Retired But Living. Sophia Petrillo, past president and legal counsel. This store's in big to the wedding.
Doug.
Got an anesthesiologist, but you won't feel anything.
Doug.
All right, Doug. But listen, don't you forget, you be careful. This man is on loan from the Blanche Devereaux collection. Wait for my wedding night, honey. I couldn't. I had these urges. You know, in the South, we mature faster. I think it's the heat.
I think it's the gin.
Anyhow, my first was Billy. Oh. I don't know why you want that man. He's treated you like dirt. And even that I could overlook if he had a good body.
Look, Blanche, I appreciate what you're trying to do, but my mind is made up. I love Stanley. I want to be with him, and I am very sorry about Catherine.
What on earth is suddenly so wonderful?
You an apology. I was angry at the world because I couldn't see it anymore. That's why I wanted you to take care of me. I didn't think it was worth the effort to do it myself. But you didn't give me any other choice. So I went back to that school. And once I got out there and...
Well, you probably want to get her operational as soon as possible. After all, she's quite a showpiece. Where do I install her?
Well, actually, Lou, we're going to install her ourselves. Follow me.
Hold it. You're not serious.
Why not?
Oh, ladies, the installation of a toilet's a very delicate procedure. You gotta go to school, you gotta be...
And he was having trouble carrying his sack.
I can't believe the response to my personal ad. It's terrible.
No one interested?
No one, period. 2 weeks, not one letter.
Hi, Sophie.
Really is the moderator and the function, if
Shut
not
up.
to...
Sorry. Continuing with English history, fifth wife of Henry VIII.
Who was Catherine Howard?
Correct.
I knew that. I knew the first one, I admit, was a bit of a fluke, but that one I knew.
Okay. Switching
If you can find something to compliment him on.
Hi. Is it my imagination, or do you have less hair on your knuckles?
Well, it could be, Sophia. At my age, everything starts to go.
Sophia, it's Miles.
Eh?
Rose, all I'm saying is I just want to make sure you're prepared.
Look, I studied that yearbook as hard as you did. Ask me anything.
Okay, I will. What were the school colors?
The brick and a kind of a cementy color between the bricks.
Go on, throw them. I don't care anymore.
Oh, honey, you still that upset about Jason?
I'm not upset about him. I would never get that upset about a man. Rebecca called, asked if she could come over and get the baby's things. I asked her...
I want you to know that despite everything, I have never, ever loved anyone as much as I loved you.
I know that, Stan.
Then you forgive me?
I forgive you.
That makes me feel so much better.
And that makes me feel so much better.
Oh, of course. Dorothy, this is Blanche. Blanche, this is Dorothy. We have jokes like that around here all the time.
It's like living in a house full of Howie Mandels. Sven, I'm Dorothy.
Hello.
And I'm Blanche. Welcome.
Thank you.
Rose tells us you're getting married.
Yes.
Bye, Charlie. Thanks for calling.
Now can we go eat?
No, I haven't heard from Michael yet.
Fine. Wait for your phone call. My blood sugar will drop and I'll have a stroke. This corsage will...
Each other.
Rose, we both answered an ad to share Blanche's house that we found in the supermarket. It was not the resurrection. It is hardly a miracle.
To me, it was a miracle because we're happy. It's not fair, you know. I mean, we get married, we have kids.
Well, I guess that's it. Good luck, ladies.
Let's go.
What, Ma, you're not going.
Oh, yes, I am. If anything goes wrong, you need someone with experience.
Experience with what?
With life. You're looking at a woman who lived through 2 world wars, 15 vendettas, 4 major operations, and 2 Darrens on Bewitched.
Brother, can you spare a dime?
Haida, I know it's rough by yourself. I count my blessings that I have my Dorothy to look after me. But you can't...
Can settle this.
All right, Dorothy, tell her who it's going to be.
It's going to be me.
You too?
He asked me last Thursday.
Well, I accidentally hurt one another. And there are going to be times when we accidentally steal large sums of money. I didn't. Now I want to see you two kiss and make up.
Look, this is silly, bro.
Just do it.
Happy Mother's Day, Mama.
Please. Happy Mother's Day, Ma. Okay, honey, just a second. Ma, he wants to talk to you.
Hello, Mike.
I'm just no good at this.
Yeah, that's beginning to shine through.
It was so much easier when I was married. I'd buy something expensive. George would yell at me. I'd put on a see-through nightie, and that'd be the end of it. Why can't the government work that way?
According to the newspapers, a lot of times it does.
While we at the 4th of July picnic, the whole town is here.
The hell with this town. Come away with me.
But you're a drifter, Biff. I can't just pull up stakes and run off with you.
Please reconsider, Josie. You're the prettiest girl in the county. I need to have your answer now. What's it going to be?
I want you to...
Coming. My Blanche. Hello. Come in, come in. Oh, you have brought your friends to see.
Tang or something.
Oh, Tang.
Tang is not the catchword here. What I mean is, I think you're very nice, and I thought we kind of liked each other, you and me. This is very embarrassing. You don't understand a word I'm saying.
Did it to make you happy.
Sarah, dear, can't we just be together, the two of us?
I feel so guilty for leaving you.
Don't. I'll be along soon enough.
Please.
And of course, I was 4 months pregnant.
Why am I still unhappy?
Well, all I know is you would not believe the progress that Stanley is making. As a matter of fact, I was going to invite you to one of his sessions with Dr. Halpern.
The psychiatrist? Please. In the old days, we didn't need psychiatrists. You had a problem, you fought, you drank, you got a...
To revenge.
Oh, look at this one. Scrunched up little frown, kind of reminds me of my mother.
They drop like flies around me.
Mrs. Nyland, you're not responsible for the death of my husband.
I'll never date again.
You will.
I won't. I can't.
In time, you'll forget this.
Never.
I promise you.
It's so...
You spend one more night like this, you're coming with me to the Rusty Anchor.
Blanche, I told you, I am so uncomfortable with strangers.
Now, don't blame yourself. They're just as uncomfortable with you. It all stems from your low self-esteem.
What are you talking about?
Dorothy, if you felt better about yourself, you'd want to get out and do... I was home alone when the phone rang. I ran to answer it, and I tripped over your damn shoes, and I said, "Oh, George, I hate you." It was the police telling me you'd been in an accident. Never thought I'd have the chance, but I'm just so sorry. My last thought...
Celibacy?
Oh, just let me get a popsicle. I'll be right with you.
Blanche, I'm worried. That's all you've been living on for 2 weeks.
Well, if I don't eat the popsicle, how am I going to get to the stick?
I'm glad you found a hobby, but I don't think Blanche Devereaux is going to be happy making things out of popsicle sticks.
Can't be. I can't be Jewish.
I'll be damned. The black guy is prejudiced.
Well, this information will have no bearing on my getting into the Daughters of the Old South. I'll just lie.
Oh, Blanche, this is ridiculous. Why should you have to...
Turn my home into a halfway house for recently released criminals.
Yes, Rose, you are the smartest person in the world. Burger world.
Rose, if I use this permit, any kind of scum could walk through the door. Thieves, murderers, men who haven't seen a woman for 10 years, who've been doing nothing but lifting... I mean, it's no trouble. You know, being a doctor, it must be deeply fulfilling to be able to lay your hands on someone and bring them back to full, pulsating vitality.
Well, I've always believed that...
A good provider, a good father for your children? Yeah. Okay. Now, I know no one wants to hear one of my stories right now.
It's usually a pretty safe bet, Rose.
But you need to know about my cousin Ingmar. Ingmar was different. I'm ready.
Oh, honey, I know what you're going through. The bottom line is, if you take a chance in life, sometimes good things happen, sometimes bad things happen. But, honey, if you don't take a chance, nothing happens.
I'm going to take a chance.
Oh, that's wonderful.
I have to look at my...
There's an island, and I know you feel like a
Well,
family.
I am family. I'm her long-lost Swedish mother.
You're her Swedish mother.
Yeah. You bet you're sure. Oh, come on, let me in.
I'm afraid not.
Here, let me try, Sophie. Nurse. 6 kids.
Yeah, but she had to leave 2 behind. I think if they cross state lines, it's a parole violation.
Sophia, you mean you're moving for good?
Not for good. I'm just gonna help them raise the kids. I'll be back as soon as they graduate from high school. Let's see, they're 14 now. That should be about 10, 12 years.
He's trying to steal my man, and no one ever steals a man from Blanche Devereaux.
Blanche, this is all about your ego, isn't it?
Ego? Dorothy, I have no ego. And you can ask the hundreds of men who would gladly...
God, what am I going to do? Story about Uncle Hurtis and the 3 skunks in the fountain, which should last about
1900 hours.
Dorothy, here's the transmitter. Just keep it in the palm of your hand, and then with one quick movement, stick it under the table. That's all there is to it.
All right, so there any other questions?
Unless she really cares, take it from me. And I happen to like you.
My life stinks.
I know. Things are tough at home, and that really does stink. But you have a choice. You can tough it out, or you can let it beat you. But right now you're here, and this doesn't...
It's a powerful gift. Use it wisely.
You let me know the minute you decide where you're going to school. You hear?
I will. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you for loving me so much. these last few...
Sir, I am shocked at your insensitivity. May I point out to you that this is no ordinary picture? This picture was carried thousands of miles across the ocean by her great-great-grandmother, a woman who came to this country in search of a better life, as have done millions of immigrants throughout history. Why, this picture... If you're going to make fun of somebody, make fun of Rose. I need the professional care of the most talented hairdresser in Miami, Robert. Oh, he's brilliant. Do you know he was the first one ever to use mousse?
I'd check my facts if I were you, Blanche. Mr. Ingrid...
Yeah, ladies, I'm afraid I'm running a little late. May I just ask you a few questions?
Well, of course. Go right ahead.
What do you call an inhabitant of Guam?
I don't know. Guamanian, I guess. What does this have to do with renting the room? Complete.
Oh, no, Dorothy. We looked at pictures and slides and letters and diaries and locks of hair. What's left? Our family history and shadow puppets?
Ma, better.
Now, this is what I call quality time.
Your chins, too, Dorothy.
You know, I'm still a little confused. Now, who exactly is Ricky?
Lucy's husband.
I thought Desi was...
Don't you have a cousin you should be dating?
Wait a minute. I thought you said there weren't any trains until morning.
No more trains to Miami. That's the 9:20 to Sarasota.
Which one's a slut?
Rose, it is not here.
Look again, it has to be.
Rose, I have read every want ad in the paper. Mine is not here. Are you sure you dropped it off at the newspaper office?
Dorothy, I woke up. There she was in my arms, just as goofy and hungover as I was. I vowed then and there to have 20 more.
Well, what stopped you?
The drugs wore off.
Remember how Stan was working late when I went into labor with Kate, so I called you, Ma?
Yeah. Morning, girls. I didn't sleep a wink last night worrying about Blanche and Sven.
Rose, this is between the two of them.
No, it isn't. I'm supposed to get Sven on a plane today. That's why I called Big Sven early this morning to ask him what to do. I knew he'd be up. He gets up with the cows.
Looks sick. She should go. They believe her.
Blanche, you look terrible.
What day is this? I've been up for 72 hours. I had a breakthrough. I discovered a new form of writing.
Adios, everybody wave goodbye. I'm off to Brooklyn.
Honey, what are you doing?
I'm going back to the old neighborhood. The doctor said it would help if I stirred up some memories.
Ma, you can't go back there alone.
No kidding. I'm 83. I walk to the driveway. It's a coin toss whether I get back. You're coming with me.
Calm down, everybody. How did this happen?
I remember. That moron made us promise we'd have our heads frozen and meet 100 years later.
And we did it?
Doctor, with the hands of a peasant and the soul of a poet. Oh, my God, I'm writing already. Somebody take this down.
What is she talking about?
Forget her. Dorothy, you've got to see another doctor. Raymond is not a specialist.
Yeah, but what kind of specialist do I need?
Well, just call up Dr. Raymond and ask him. He'll refer you.
You have to.
Excuse me. This is a private section.
What is going on here?
What does it look like? The opposition kidnapped our fighter and is trying to turn him into a sissy boy by making him play the violin. Come on, Peppy.
Ma.
Look, ladies, I guess I've got some explaining to do.
You sure do. Like why you...
He is not sure how I feel. He wants me to make the first move.
Oh, gee, I hadn't counted on this. She makes good sense.
I want to thank you for helping me think this through. You know, up until now, I honestly had a few doubts, but After talking to you, I know exactly. Ma.
Is it morning already?
No. I just wanted to ask you a question.
What?
How would you react if you were told that one of your kids was gay?
Your brother Phil is gay? I knew it. When he was a kid, we couldn't keep him away from those gladiator movies.
You know, you really have to give Max and Sophia credit. This business was their dream, and they're going after it. I just wish I'd done that with my dream.
Fine. Honey, would you check on the pizzas? One may be ready.
Well, why don't you want to hear about my dream?
Because it is all...
Mom, these numbers don't make sense. They can't be right.
They're right, Kirsten. I had them checked with a lawyer and an accountant.
But there's nothing here.
Of course there is.
I mean, there's nothing close to what should be here. Daddy was one of the most successful insurance salesmen in his company.
All creatures must learn to coexist. Back where I come from, they do. That's why the brown bear and the field mouse can share their lives and live in harmony. Of course, they can't mate or the mice would explode.
Offered us a drink. That is, until one of the truckers noticed my wedding band. Well, I was so stunned I couldn't speak. But Becky Sue spoke right up. She said, "Oh, that's all right. She's a widow."
Oh, Blanche, you poor baby.
I know. You can bet the next time I decided to party when George was out of town on business, I left that wedding ring at home.
Okay, the diamond's not very big. Okay, it's not a real diamond. It's the thought that counts. Okay, I didn't put much thought into it. It was cheap. I'm cheap. What can I tell you?
Stanley, honey, why don't you let me help you pick out something else for Catherine?
I'll help, too.
Dorothy, I had no idea.
Stanley, I used to think you were the scum of the earth. I have just downgraded my opinion.
What I did was wrong. I feel humiliated in the presence of you courageous people. I offer you my heartfelt sympathy.
Well...
Dorothy, you gonna show me the dress or not?
Be right there.
Get a move on. If you hurry up, I can give you an honest, unbiased opinion. And you'll still have time to return it before the...
Skimpy outfits collecting phone numbers.
That's not true. I was not in a skimpy outfit, and I got all these.
Hello, my name is Yvonne. Have you been here before?
See, you go to a woman's gym, you get hit on by a woman.
I work here.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to imply anything.
She just thought...
$1 for the cab.
$67? Ma, this is crazy. The home is 15 minutes from here.
My cab driver is Cuban. He said there was an additional tax for a bilingual driver.
I'll take care of him.
Sit down, Sophia. You must be...
Because you fed me once and I hung around? Because you used to put me out at night?
Because I love pussycats and I love you.
Come on, Ma. I think you're overreacting. And Angela, where you going?
I'm gonna tape my name on the mailbox. After all, I live here now. Any more bright ideas, linguini for brains?
But when we first met, I was very attracted to you, and I couldn't believe you thought I was the baby's mother. What were you thinking of?
Well, I thought, who am I to judge? I was bald at 23.
Well, I guess this puts an end to our relationship. You probably don't want to go out with the grandmother.
No, I...
Honestly, Sophia, to hear you tell it, you'd think all we do is fight.
Hey, I didn't say all we do is fight. We also talk about sex.
We already talked about sex.
I'm shocked.
My family. And if you don't like it, then you don't have to be a part of my family.
Blanche, George, I've been thinking about Clayton and Doug, and I have a question.
What? Music.
Tickle the ivories, Rose.
Coochie, 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 coochie.
Rose, play or die. Miami is nice, so I'll say it twice.
I just can't believe we're on our way to St. Olaf. Oh, I'm so excited. You girls are gonna love it. But I guess He committed suicide?
In a manner of speaking, he'd have died whether he'd been here or not.
I'm so glad. Not that he's dead.
I know. I just had to tell you, you had nothing to do with it.
Thank you.
And if he had to die...
Company, come here, you.
Aurora just got up, so you may not be able to put her down for a nap this afternoon.
Oh, that's all right. I enjoy it when she's awake.
Mother, this is so unlike you. You've never really liked babies.
Rebecca, go home. You are interfering in mine. The baby's bonding time.
Point the way.
Oh, good. It's on the second floor.
Thanks a lot, Rose. Oh, this is a great Valentine's weekend. Stuck in a hotel at a nudist camp for 10 hours.
I'm sorry, Dorothy. It's all my fault. I misunderstood the brochure.
Easier to take if it came from me.
Well, then, here's another one for you. We've seen her room. Tell her she won't be getting her cleaning deposit back.
God, I'm so confused. I don't know where I belong. I'm trying to wrestle with the deep...
Extraordinary. Did you know an Ingrid Kerklevaner?
You knew Ingrid?
She must have been about 19 then. She worked in the kitchen in the monastery. Talk. That's all she ever did. We were a silent order, so that was very refreshing.
I suppose it was. I mean, sure, the typical teenage things. When we'd go to a drive-in movie, he'd hide me in the trunk, so we only had to pay admission for one. And after the movie, he'd drive me home, let me out of the trunk, and tell me all about it. But I was looking for someone more exciting.
Whoa?
No.
Look out behind you! Hey, you gotta make your own fun around here.
Honey, what's making you so tense?
It's my job. It's all the pressure.
Honey, what's the big deal? You're just working for a Consumer Reporter. You're not actually on TV a sale.
Well, it is a big deal.
You know what would make me feel really great?
So, tell me how you're feeling, Bob.
Nervous.
Oh, well, it's a perfectly lovely jet, Richard, but there was really no need to fly all the way to Atlanta for dinner. I'm just an old-fashioned girl. I would have been very happy with a quiet dinner at home.
You would?
Absolutely.
I'll just tell the pilot to turn the plane around.
No way!
But that's impossible, Clayton. Brothers can't marry sisters. That's right, you're from the South.
This is exactly like the dress I wore to my Sweet 16. It was always Big Daddy's favorite. Oh, there he is now. Now listen, girls. My father is an old-time Southern aristocrat who is used to fine manners and gentility. So please, please, please...
Touched? Do I have your $1,200?
You have my blessing and you have my money.
For another 1,000, I could go first class.
Arrivederci.
So, Woggy...
What's that?
Oh, I'm sorry. I know it's awful, but I have this incredible sweet tooth.
What is it?
Cheesecake.
What kind?
Chocolate.
Oh, I think this could be the beginning of a beautiful friendship. I guess some things never change.
They sure don't. We've all...
Your heart's in the right place, Rose, but I don't know where the hell your brain is.
Morning.
Oh, Dorothy, you look terrific. Where are you going?
Oh, to see that specialist that Harry recommended?
Wipe off your makeup.
What?
You look too healthy. Maybe that's why they don't believe you. You don't...
I love your lasagna.
Oh, you're just saying that to make me feel better.
Is it working?
Like a charm. Honey, I don't think there's enough sugar left in the bowl.
Angela, that was the best meal I've ever had in my life.
Well, how good could it have been? You left half of it.
I ate every bite.
Well, there's some sauce left. If you really liked it, you'd take a hunk of that bread and sop it all up. You can afford it.
Oh, no, I can't.
The computer made a mistake. Ma, that money doesn't belong to you. Now, how much are we talking about?
Enough to have you rubbed out if you rat on me. So far, 170 grand, but I haven't checked today's mail.
It was awfully sweet of you to...
There's nothing I can do, so get that look out of your eye and let go of my hand.
Girls, I am so excited. I just got a big bonus at work. And guess what I've decided to do with it?
What?
I'm gonna have my breasts enlarged.
I mean, a few hot flashes, and that was it.
Oh, I've heard about those hot flashes.
They didn't bother me. I live in Florida. Who can tell the difference between a hot flash and a weather front?
Oh, but it's also depressing.
I had a cousin once didn't get her period for 20 years. Then at 72, she got pregnant.
I was dating the Navy. I never met anybody like you. Jake, is it my imagination or is there a tattoo in the shape of a nose on your arm?
Yeah. I got that when I first joined the Navy back in '51. I was just a kid. I was drunk out of my mind. Unfortunately, so was the guy who...
Blanche.
Kendall.
Blanche, I must commend you again. I have a feeling we're in for a weekend none of us is going to forget.
Oh, I do declare. Your sweet words could charm the morning dew right off the honeysuckle.
There I was, alongside the other two finalists, churning my guts out. When all of a sudden, for no apparent reason, my churn jammed. Yes. And just like that, it was over. I'd lost. It was the biggest disappointment in my life.
चाफिया फुलाचा अंगणा अंगणा दिसत पांढरा चाफिया फुलाचा अंगणा दिसत पांढरा रुपाली नवरी लाडकी मोत्यानी भरी लाग करा 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 लक्ष्मण वर्म्यानी केलाय गो अवतान धानेवली गावाला अवतान धानेवली गावाला अवतान धानेवली गावाला माणिकबाई वर्माई सजली गो लेकीला हलद लावाला लेकीला हलद लावाला लेकीला हलद लावाला गोऱ्या ग रंगाची रुपाली ताईचा चेहरा हसरा गोऱ्या ग रंगाची रुपाली ताईचा चेहरा हसरा रुपाली नवरी लाडकी मोत्यानी भरी लाग करा 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 भरी लाग करा रुपाली नवरी लाडकी मोत्यानी भरी लाग करा रुपाली नवरी लाडकी मोत्यानी भरी लाग करा रुपाली नवरी लाडकी मोत्यानी भरी लाग करा चाफिया फुलाचा अंगणा अंगणा दिसत पांढरा चाफिया फुलाचा अंगणा दिसत पांढरा रुपाली नवरी लाडकी मोत्यानी भरी लाग करा 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 चाफिया फुलाचा अंगणा दिसत पांढरा चाफिया फुलाचा अंगणा दिसत पांढरा रुपाली नवरी लाडकी मोत्यानी भरी लाग